Good morning. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, with my friend and guest, Jennifer Trepanier. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, the Arbor at Avamere Court Senior Living, Hope 107.9 Radio, and the Alzheimer's Association. For more information on the Arbor at Avamere Court and their memory care community, go to arbor@avamerecourt.com. And for more information on Hope 107.9 Radio in Albany, Oregon, go to hope1079.com. And finally, for more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to give to this amazing organization, go to alz.org. Special thank you to Jim and Diana Becker for underwriting this sponsorship. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. I am so glad you're here today, and you're going to be so glad you're here today. I'm telling you, Jennifer Trepanier is an abundant blessing of energy today that she's going to bring us some great information. And if you don't have all of your friends watching, let them know now that we're on, because that is so important. Every time we come to you with Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, I understand that you all have lives, you all have things going on. So it's great to get a reminder. And so just remind them, hey, we'll talk more about that. You can share this out. But first, I just want to tell you how glad I am to be here today. Now, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And that is right. Not only do we go live, so you can engage and you can connect with people, not only with me and Jennifer, but people that are in the comments you can connect with. It's an amazing resource, I'm telling you. But not only that, after that, it becomes a video podcast. So it sits on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for, wait for it, infinity and beyond. That's right, forever. It's there forever for you to share out. And so you can definitely let all your friends know, hey, I understand you have things going. You can still watch. You can still get this great information. But wait, there's still more. It also converts to audio podcasts. So you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And I tell you, I know a lot of you like to jog, walk, where you're cooking, whatever you're doing, you like to listen. My wife likes to listen to podcasts while she's getting ready in the morning. So whatever you're doing, you don't have time to watch video, but you have time to listen. So there you go. Don't forget that. So there's a lot of opportunity. We love technology. There you go. It's a good thing about technology today. So this is, again, a great platform to talk about how amazing people connect. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about this morning, just a little bit about what this show is all about. You know, we only talk to amazing people, and I'm amazed how many amazing people there are out there. I have so many amazing friends that are willing to come on, share their time and value with me and with you. That's right. You can learn so much today. You know, we learn and grow daily if we allow ourselves to. And so knowledge is so important. I talked to that on my word of the day this morning on Instagram. Every morning on my Instagram, or one of them, I do the, that's confusing. I know, me too. I do the word of the day, and it was on knowledge this morning because knowledge helps us to grow and to be able to traverse this great landscape we call life. So important to have that knowledge, and you learn so much on this show from so many amazing people. Also, I just am so thankful that we have opportunities for you to join in and connect with us. Like, you can connect with me at russhedge.com. If you know my name, Russ Hedge, there you go. Russ Hedge, put a .com at the end. Well, up there you are, one-stop shop for everything about me. Russ Hedge information about my coaching, about my inspirational speaking, which is really my focus these days. Also, my live streaming and live stream producing, there with great information. You can also connect with me on social media, on my email. You can give my phone number a call or a text, and you can even schedule time directly on my calendar and we can Zoom and talk. I would really love to connect with you today. You know, my goal this year is to connect with at least 1,000 new people this year. I've done that the last 2 years. I've just knocked that right out of the park. And so ready to do it again this year. And I'm very thankful. And obviously the year's over half over. So I'm over half done with my connecting. So please connect with me today. All right. So also all my books you can see behind me. I think you can see, actually, I might have to adjust this just slightly. There you go. Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. My initial book is available. Believe it or not, I know it's shocking, but it's available at russhedge.com. Also, you can get it on Amazon. Same with my collaborative books. Said some great books. I've been able to talk about my cancer journey and be able to encourage and inspire you. They're all there for you to check out. Another big thing I'd love for you to do is to connect on YouTube. And I tell you, I make it easy. Again, if you know the name of this show, Marketing with Russ, just go to marketingwithruss.live and it'll take you directly to my YouTube page. That's it. You can open a separate tab right now. In fact, why don't you do that right now? Open up a separate tab, click, and just hit that subscribe button. You're good to go. Also, we talked about this before, but if you can share and tag your friends and let them know, we would love for all of them to be enjoying the show today and enjoying Jennifer. So we have just one thing left, and then we're going to get Jennifer in the house, and she's back there going, woo, it's one of these days I'm going to get in. Okay, so we're going to do our marketing tip of the day. These are simple little truths that help you, not only in your marketing, but your business and your life, really. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? This is your marketing tip of the day. Live by the golden rule. You've heard it before. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. And I'm telling you, that is a secret to life that is so simple, but so critical and important. If you haven't read the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it should be way up at the top of your reading list. I'm telling you, what an amazing book. He wrote it back in 1936, actually, but it is timeless truths. And one thing he says in there, if you want people to be interested in you, you have to be interested in them. You have to give, and you have to actually support, and you have to actually reach out to others if you want them to give, support, and reach out to you. And that is how business works, connecting and building community, which you know we're all about here on Marketing with Russ. You need to connect today and live by the golden rule. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right. So there you go. That gets cut out. That'll be put out separately besides here on the show. You see that on social media, on YouTube Shorts, on all of that. You can share that. Someone probably needs that today that you're thinking, maybe you need it. Maybe somebody else needs it. But anyway, there you go. So now we're going to move on, and it's time to get Jennifer Trepanier. I love the way you pronounce her name. That's amazing. Get her in the show. Here she is. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hey, Russ, how you doing? By the way, anyone who's listening, you can call me JT. Jennifer's the professional piece, so we're all friends.
Got it. JT, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, JT and I are new friends, so I'm just learning these things. You know, I told her way back when we originally talked, and I always tell people this, I'm a lifetime connector. So now you're stuck with me as your friend anyway. So I got to have this JT thing down. So
That's right.
So JT, listen, it is so great to have you here. And if we could start off by you just telling everybody a little bit about JT. Who are you? What are you all about?
Well, I love that your word for the day is knowledge, because all of the work I do is about finding the wisdom within. My website's wellsofwisdom.com. And my whole life's purpose is to show the wisdom within the challenge. So my background, the Cliff Notes version, I nearly died as a child from 12 to 17. I had my immune system attack my muscles. So at that point, I learned that your spirit could be incredibly strong while your body can be extremely weak. So I got amazing perspective. Death has always been a catalyst for me. I have faced that as a new mom, as a child. And my work is around psychophysiology. That's what my master's is in, which honestly, my life experience was way more than a few year master's. But this is the study of the mind body and how we are so empowered when we look into where the wisdom is within our challenge. And I also, out of that, because of my muscle disease, because I know what it's like to face potential mortality as a child, I wanted to give back to children. So I created a nonprofit called Pile of Puppies. Who doesn't want a pile of puppies? That is all about joy healing. I truly have seen in the last 8 years of Pile of Puppies how joy heals. And with my clients, I see how wisdom can be derived and from incredibly painful moments. And that is my work, joy and wisdom.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Joy and wisdom. I am a very joyful person. In fact, I'm just kind of your happy-go-lucky guy. My wife calls me Pollyanna, and that's just the way that God made me, and
That's
I'm
right.
thankful for that, honestly. Because I sometimes say I have an unfair advantage because some of us are more leaning the positive way, and some of us are leaning the more negative way. And when you go through the things that you and I have been through, this morning, JT, it is critical to keep that positive perspective on all you're doing because it can really drag you down if you let it. Why not have a pile of puppies? Oh my
Right?
goodness. I just love that. When we first talked, I mean, I need to figure out how to get involved and be able to send people piles of puppies because I just love this whole thing. But
Please do. Any child, anyone from 0 to 21 who is suffering with chronic illness, physical chronic illness, or in hospice, please go to our website, pileofpuppies.org, and you can click on Get in Touch and to the family. And please join if you think of someone in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, within 40 minutes.
Well, and that is so. Okay, so let me ask you this. So I am in Salem, Oregon, but I'm not within 20 minutes. Is that too far?
So we do give a 2-hour radius when we're working with hospice. So we have done multiple hospice visits in Salem.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Because you and I are very close together. Usually I'm used to people being in Dublin, Ireland, or Australia, or who knows where they might be. So anyway, that's awesome. Well, okay, so what was your driving force? I mean, besides your own joy, obviously, I love joy and wisdom that you're all about. What was your real driving force to go where, get your master's and then go to where you are now and develop Pile of Puppies? I mean, just give us some more information. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. So every horrible experience with my body, with illness since 12, has been a catalyst for something better and more like, not that I want bad things to happen, but when something happens, even right now, I'm out of remission. I was in remission for 4 years. Now my immune system is attacking my platelets, which is what allows your body to clot. Who knew I was taking that for granted? I don't take many things for granted. And alopecia. Actually, I have like 6 bald spots in my head. You can't see it. I have a lot of hair, but I have no idea if I'll be bald by the end of the year. Who knows? But I have done this for 46 years. I have taken the ride. And because I've done this for 46 years, I know how to flip into the wisdom. I experience the pain. And this is what I work with clients on. A lot of times, especially for the real positive ones, sometimes we have forgotten to grieve the ungrieved grief, right? I had a very hard delivery, 64-hour labor. And I've worked with women who didn't grieve the labor process, which might have been horrendous. I've been in that state. Or as a child, they experienced an alcoholic bipolar parent. I had one of those. And we go back to hold that child who needs to experience it. And then we find the wisdom from it. So the reason I went into and get my master's was because, whoa, my voice, I sound like I'm possessed. Here we go.
Water time.
Pardon?
Time for some water.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason my muscle disease brought me, I learned the mind-body connection in doing guided imagery and visualization. So I floored doctors when I used to have this stuff all over my skin, and I did this imagery and tapped in to the wise one within, which is what my book is all about, by the way. And I learned how the mind can connect to the body and start reversing some of the physical aspects, which is also what I do with clients, is going deeper and deeper into where is the wisdom behind the challenge, behind the disease. Doesn't always have to be disease, could also be multiple things. This is just my journey. And so that's why I ended up with my master's. And then when my dad took his life, and then my grandfather died 5 days later, and my grandmother died 4 months later, which, by the way, I had written in my journal when I was 30 years old that 3 people were going to die in my family. I'm highly intuitive, and they did. And I shut off that intuitive side because I didn't want to know of anyone else's death for a while. But what that did is it led me to hospice, because I couldn't be with those family members when they died. I was actually in Eastern Europe when my grandfather died. I decided I wanted to sit at the bedside of dying. And it was such a journey that was started 15 years ago. And I have such a respect for the dying and for death, because it's been a catalyst for me to live. Because as you know, most joyous people I know have been through hell. Like I almost did the F-bomb. I'm definitely an F-bomb girl, but they've been through hell, and you see the light behind their eyes because they've seen the other side too. They've felt the pain and they've found the wisdom, and I see that in you, Russ. So that is what led me to working with the dying. And then when I became pregnant, my immune system started attacking my neutrophils, which is what is your healing force. And I didn't know if I would survive through the whole pregnancy and birth. And it was an incredibly terrible time, and also powerful, because I became a mother, which I never wanted to be, by the way. I was like, I don't know, I want to be free and wild. I'm a wild woman. But I birthed my teacher. She's out of this world amazing. And then through that, after the 2 years of some deep suffering, I decided I wanted to give back. Pile of Puppies was born. I saw a reel of people getting piled with puppies and thought, who needs that the most? Chronically and terminally ill children, that's what, and their families. So that took me on the 8-year journey. And then lastly, if you don't mind, I'll do the full circle.
Go for it.
In 2020, my immune system was attacking my lung. Not a good time, right? So my own immune system was attacking my lung. I was on double immunosuppressants, and here's this thing called COVID. And guess what? When I was a young mother, my biggest fear was that all my wisdom wouldn't be passed to my daughter and she wouldn't know me. And I said, F that. I am going to write a book for my daughter. And so I did. And then in the midst of writing it, I realized it's not just for my daughter. And so this book has been born, and it's all about the wisdom that you find within death, within illness, within sensuality. I'm a highly sensual person. And mothering, not just of humans, because not everyone's going to be a mother or a father, but mothering businesses, books, creative endeavors. So it's on the 4 pillars, and how I've been called an angel, warrior, mother, and siren. So I touch on those 4 faces that we don't always get to wear at the same time, and how that's played.
Well, okay. There were so many mic drops, so many amazing moments in that I don't even know where to go with it. But I do know this. First off, I just want to say, like Royce in the comments said, great energy you have. I think you and I are like bubbling over with energy.
Yeah.
So this is great. But I love the fact that you talk about all the things you've been through. I am a firm believer that we become better by going through challenges and trials. It's kind of like God's sandpaper all over our lives, just kind of refining us, making us who we are and where we need to go, making us better. But sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's not good. And I think one thing that people don't realize, JT, is people like you and I have those moments, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we both want to be whoop, whoop all day long. It's all good, right? But we have those moments where life sucks and we don't feel good. And it's okay, because that is when you really kind of think can really get in touch with yourself. I think you need to feel your emotions, feel your pain, the things you're going through today. Like, for example, today I'm waiting to hear back on my latest biopsy results. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have pre-decided. By the way, that's a great new book by Craig Groeschel. He writes about pre-deciding where you're going. I have already pre-decided A, I'm trusting God. B, I'm going to keep a positive perspective and I'm going to move forward no matter what they tell me. I'm believing for good results. But if they tell me I have to have more treatment or do things, I'm moving forward, taking it on. I think that's what we need to do through all the things that we go through and we learn. We got to have those moments where we decide or pre-decide where are we going from here. And that's kind of where the Live the Life You Choose comes from out of my book. You don't get to choose what other people do to you or what life gives you, but you get to choose what you do with that, where you go from there. And you have done that just brilliantly.
I love what you said in this sense about when us joyful people can often, that's what we show. And when I wrote my book, the first iteration, one of the beta readers was like, "You're a superwoman," and I realized I had to take the warrior off and write in the vulnerable things. I've had so much happen to me in my life, but I realized if I had dwelled on that, I would be in such a sorrowful space. But what was powerful was getting to those points where you look in the mirror and you're like, why the F have I continued to have something happen to me? It feels like, is this a curse? Did I do something horrible in a past life? Like there are these moments, and you know it as well, where you're like, really, again? And that's such a real human experience. And the choice and the joy is absolutely behind that. I always talk about the tunnel. So I asked someone when, and I'd actually love to ask you, when you are in the darkest part of the tunnel. So for me, that's when you're in it. You're in it. It's the really hard spot. But then at all tunnels have light at the end. Sometimes it's a pinhole and you barely see it. And sometimes it's huge and we're almost there and we almost made it through. So I'm curious, one of your moments when you were in the darkest of tunnels, what happened? Where did the light come in to help pick you up from that dark moment?
Well, that is an excellent question. And thanks for the interviewing within the interview. And this is wonderful. So I want to tell you that in my first collaborative anthology book, Rattled Awake, Volume 1, I wrote about that exact moment, the moment that I was rattled awake, that my perspective kind of made a shift. And I think that I'm very clear on why I'm here. I'm here to
Yes.
inspire and encourage people to live a purpose-driven life of significance, to be world changers, difference makers, to get out there and impact their world. That's what I'm all about. But at that moment, in my
Yes.
darkest moment,
Yes.
when they told me I had stage 3C cancer,
Yes.
and it was a lot of stuff ahead for me, I thought to myself, am I really living everything that I say to people? It's not that
Mhm.
that wasn't truly me, because it was, but was I actually living that out? Was I living it with people? And that is where I really became much more vulnerable and transparent. And I decided to post about my journey because I was a happy poster. A happy poster. I don't want to drag everybody through my dirty laundry and my bad situation. But in this one, I decided God was really speaking to me saying, you could take this negative thing and turn it into a positive for people. We're all going through dark moments. We're all going through challenges in life. Doesn't matter if it's cancer or
That's
if it's
right.
immune diseases, whatever it is, we're going through something, and we need that encouragement to help lift us up because there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And exactly what you said, light moves through transparent vessels. That's something I share in my book. I share with clients. And that's what I loved when I heard you were sharing your cancer journey, because if you don't share it, when I talk about my bipolar dad who ended like all the things, people listen because they've been through the hell of having someone who's an alcoholic and have instability. And guess what? Autoimmune diseases definitely stem from that type of experience. So I really appreciate that transparency. I will say, I do have to share that one of the things I love about working with Pile of Puppies, my nonprofit, is asking the hard questions to parents of dying children. And I do it very carefully. I have to know who I'm talking to, but I have to share one moment, and I think you'll appreciate this. It was on Christmas Day that we delivered golden retrievers to a family with a adult 21, I think, a child who is passing. And this woman, she's amazing. She put her later husband to rest. Her child, all of her children have the same disease as her husband. It's a genetic one that typically is terminal. And she had already laid to rest multiple family members. And I looked her in the eye and I said, how? What? what wisdom came to you in one of the darkest hours when your husband was passing? And she looked at me and she said, for her, it was Jesus. Jesus came to her and simply said, love them now. Love them now. And I had another child who love is really powerful during the end of life and in life in general. And we had another family, probably my first or second year within Pile of Puppies. And this little girl named Holly, her mother called and she said her daughter was actively dying. Is there any way we could get puppies? And I said to her, we usually takes time. It takes all this organization. And we actually I got a call that day that puppies were available. And we went in the next day. And we always do videos and photos. And I never, ever make them post. So they gave permission. And the family just experienced extreme joy as their child is actively dying. But Holly's mission in life was to share that love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. And you know what? In the very early stages, we'd never had a video go viral, which I don't care about that, not the ego part of it. But what was amazing was once the mother had said that it was okay to post, which right? Light moves through transparent beings. Not everyone wants this posted. I give such admiration to those who are willing to have that out there. Her video was our first that went around the world. We had people from multiple continents ask if they could have the video. And her mission in life, love is everywhere, happened right before she passed, and she knew it because the whole world knew her mission. And her mother said something so powerful, which I want to pass on because this is the wisdom within the challenge. She said she didn't know why her child had to suffer. She suffered a very hard death. Tumors enveloped her throat. It was really intense. And she said she didn't know why her daughter had to suffer so much. And what her wisdom is, sometimes there is greater purpose in our pain. Sometimes there's greater purpose in our pain. And her daughter wasn't done yet. She had to get love is everywhere around the world. So just want to drop a couple powerful stories.
Wow. That is so great because I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, love people now. I love that when you first said that, we don't know how much time we have. We don't know how many opportunities we're going to have. We don't know what we are going to be able to do in the future, but we know what we can do now.
That's right.
Why wait? And I always, when I go to meetings, I always tell everybody to live their best life now. Yeah. Why not live it now? Why wait? Why not do the things that you feel God has put in your heart and in your life? Get out there, do amazing things now. Don't just plan for them and then worry about them and fret and never do them. Just do them, right? Yes. And I just think that is so critical. And you know what? You and I are going to have a part 2 for sure and I've also got another live stream I want to get you on, but that's after this show. We've run out of time. So I would like you to tell everybody, give them your really wrap up golden nugget. What is the one thing you really want them to remember the most? And there was a lot there. So this is a tall order. One thing you really want them to remember the most, and tell everybody how they get in touch with you.
Bottom line, the wisdom is within you. And no matter where you are in life, being able to drop in and trust that is within you is truly one of my missions in life, to help guide people in that space, and that joy does heal. In order to get to reach me, you can go to wellsofwisdom.com. Wells of Wisdom JT at Gmail also works. And just so you know, I am doing, I do workshops on the 4 pillars: death, illness, sensuality, and mothering. And I will be doing a workshop on death, not just death of the body, but death of relationships, identity, abilities, if you're aging or have chronic illness. So if you're interested in that, it's called Cultivating Life Force Gathering. You're welcome to message me and I'll send you the link.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. I appreciate you. And I've got all your connection information with your LinkedIn, and we've got your pileofpuppies.org and all that great way to get your email to get a hold of you, as you said. And it's right there for you all to click on. Listen, everybody, you need to get a hold of JT. Just click on it. Go to her, whatever works out best for you today, because you will be better for it. And JT, thank you. You're amazing. I appreciate your time, and we will definitely do this again.
Thank you so much. Take care, Russ.
All right. By the way, I'm going to send you to the green room. Hang tight for one
Okay.
second. We'll talk after. All right. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. I tell you, they get better every week. And you need to share this out because I understand, again, so many people watch on replay. Take this. Somebody you know that's going through hospice, somebody you know that's got somebody ailing that could utilize pile of puppies. Who couldn't utilize a pile of puppies? And could utilize the wisdom from JT. It's really critical. It's such a great resource, and take advantage of it. All the information is right here, nice and easy. Like I told you before, you can always get a hold of me simply and easily at where is it? There it is, russhedge.com. There you go. russhedge.com today. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube. There are so many amazing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes of amazing people. Just go to marketingwithruss.live today and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. Please share this out again. And until we see you next Monday on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, have a blessed day, a blessed life. See ya.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.